Oops.
We, we all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering its amazing life-enhancing technology to people across the world, always helping the body do what it was designed to do, only better. And as it turns out, the best was yet to come. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39. The world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body. How you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
Okay, guys, welcome to the show. Where are you guys calling in from? Where are you guys watching me from? Welcome to the show, sponsored by Liberty Water. We're going to have a question on the Constitution a little bit later, and if you answer it correctly, Liberty Water will send you a 6-pack of the water, the new ones, the sport ones. So we'll do that later in the show. See, we got Missouri in the house. We're only going to do a few minutes of call-outs. Pennsylvania in the house. Chattanooga, Tennessee in the house. Nevada in the house. South Carolina in the house. Welcome to the show. You're live with Doug. South Jersey in the house. Shenandoah Valley in the house. Thank you. I dressed up for the occasion. Hampton in the house. New Orleans in the house. California in the house. Argentina in the house. Wow. Cincinnati, Ohio in the house. Florida in the house. Arizona, Washington State, California. Welcome to the show. You're live with Doug. Shreveport in the house. West Virginia. Wow, I look different without a hat. Thank you. Don't forget, if you go to the website for Liberty Water, just use the code word FROG, get 5% off. Detroit in the house. Victor, New York in the house. Oh, all right. So that's all I'm going to do for call outs. And I'm getting ready to introduce Dr. Kandiss Taylor. And so let me bring her into the stream, guys. Hi, welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, This is Dr. Kandiss Taylor. She is running for governor of Georgia. And tell us about yourself. I read your bio and it says that you're an educator. So is your husband. I guess the doctor in front means you're highly educated. And tell us some of your background and stuff, if you would.
So I started out in my career teaching third grade. I taught third grade for a couple years, and then I went into school counseling, and I was a school counselor for over a decade. And now I'm an administrator, but I have a PhD in counseling, counselor education and supervision from Regent University. It's Pat Robertson's University in Virginia. And actually, when I got my PhD, Dr. Ben Carson spoke at my commencement.
Wow.
And that is why I'm in politics, because he told
I
us.
live in Newport News. It's right across the water from Chesapeake.
Yes. And he told us if we don't get involved, then we're going to lose our whole country. That was 8 years ago. And last year I ran for U.S. Senate because I really felt like it was time. I thought I might wait till I retired. And then it was like, no, I can't wait. We're going to lose our country if I keep waiting. And I learned a lot about politics. I thought it was all the Democrats. I thought the Democrats were the enemy. And then I got involved in politics and realized the Republicans were just as crooked. And then we watched what they did to our president, and we realized they really are crooked. So I have 3 children. I have a husband. He teaches engineering at the high school. And we just love Jesus, guns, and babies.
Yeah, I wrote that down. It was in your Jesus, guns, and babies. Well, that covers all of it there. What are some of the changes you'd like to see specifically in schools? You mentioned in your bio that they have a giant budget for the school system, but it's not doing anything to help the children.
Well, the governor's budget in Georgia is 60% education.
Right.
And we've never had an educator be the governor of Georgia. And I think that it says a lot about where we are as a society. We keep electing lawyers. There's nothing wrong with lawyers, but they don't represent the people. And we have a republic, which means that it's representative of the people, for the people, by the people. And I think it's important that we elect people that represent us. And from blue collar workers and laborers to educators to doctors, yes, lawyers, but the percentage should match the people, and retired people, but young people as well. And the average age of Congress is 65. And we need the wisdom there, but we need some younger people too. They're passionate and zealous, and we need both. So for me in education, I see a lot of waste and a lot of control on the teachers. They don't have a lot of teacher autonomy in Georgia. I think that's kind of been a path along the whole United States of America. We've seen the pendulum kind of swing in the direction of control. And the teachers are the most educated people on the planet. They're highly educated. And they need to be respected and allowed to teach and be passionate. And when we teach to a test and we control them with a bunch of programs and a bunch of assessments and their assessments, the teacher assessments, we squelch their fire. We put it out, and then the kids don't want to learn. They don't want to come to school. And so I think that's a big reason why we've seen a backward movement of public education, and people, attrition's terrible. We can't keep teachers. So I want to see teachers have the autonomy in their classroom to teach and do what they love and use their personality and make the classroom come alive again. And I look forward to that in Georgia. And I think we'll see huge gains when we teach to the top and not water down things for the bottom. We need to take care of our special students, and we have wonderful programs to do that. But I feel like our middle and top students kind of get left out, and kids will rise to your expectation.
Absolutely. Would you like to see God back in school?
Yeah. So I live in a small town in South Georgia, and we do have God in our schools. We're blessed.
Well, not here, but that's why I asked. I didn't know if it was still there or not. Didn't mean to interrupt
but
you.
Not in the rest of the state. And I hear that a lot. And I think, I've had pushback because they say, well, I'm Jewish, or I'm a Muslim, and you're a Christian, and you're really, really strong saying that doesn't represent everybody. And I said, well, if you follow the teachings of Jesus, you realize that Christianity is a wonderful thing. We're not going to lie. We're not going to steal. We're going to do what's right and show love and be kind to our neighbor and treat our neighbor as we would treat ourselves. We want them to treat us. So I feel like even if you're not a Christian, you can respect that you want somebody like that with that morality to be your leader. But we absolutely in our country need the Lord. Our country was founded on Christian values. They wanted to worship Jesus. That's why they came here and established this country. And to say that the separation of church and state means we separate Jesus from the school system because it's the government is totally wrong. It's totally a perversion of what the Constitution's intent was.
So how do you feel about, and I don't know if it's down there in Texas, is this critical race theory they're trying to teach in school, and they're just trying to, I think it's the most awful thing I've ever seen in my life. Or is that going on down that way, or is that something they're starting to do, or has it been going on for a while? I know that's a delicate subject.
Absolutely. So I'll give you a little background about Georgia. We have a governor who didn't stand up for the president. That's why I'm running. We need a new governor in Georgia. He forgot who he worked for. The people of Georgia are not happy. So critical race theory is something that has definitely been talked about in my state. And not only that, but BLM values and their beliefs and transgender issues that have been pushed down to the lower levels that they shouldn't even be thinking about these things yet. And so we have to protect our most innocent. The Bible says when you do it unto the children, you do it unto God. And I think it's so important that we really focus on curriculum across our nation, but it's a state issue. Education is for by the state. And in Georgia, we had 2 Republicans that were on our state board of education board that kind of came off the board, and they were replaced a couple months ago with 2 Democrats.
Wow.
But we have a Republican governor. So things like that happening in Georgia that you can't make up, that doesn't make sense. And so yes, we have to fight back. We're going and critical race theory. I'll say this: it was, created in the 60s, 70s, and didn't make sense then.
Right. It doesn't make sense at all.
And now that our nation's so divided because of the media, they've
Well,
divided us, and because of that, then people are buying into this. But in reality, critical race theory oppresses Black people, and it makes white people look supreme, and we're not.
No.
And it oppresses everybody. It's divisive. And my pastor always said the enemy, his number one plan is to divide and conquer. If he can divide you, he can conquer you. And I believe that's what's happened in our country.
Wow. So let's talk about your amazing Secretary of State down there. Is he still around, or has he been recalled or thrown in jail or anything like that? He had a lot to do with the election, didn't he?
He's still going strong. Apparently,
wow.
He's cleaned up voter rolls, over 100,000 dead voters all of a sudden. But they voted in 2020, but now he's cleaned it up.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like this week, like last week.
What are some of the other things you'd like to see changed if you're elected governor, and some of the things and some of the stuff you'd like to put forward?
Well, election integrity is number one to me. And I'll come back and circle there because I spent a lot of time with Arizona and I want to talk about the election integrity. But education, of course, and I've talked about that already. And then our economy. Georgia has the 8th strongest economy in the United States. We have a beautiful state. I don't know if you've ever been here, but we have beaches and we have mountains and we have plains and we have everything you could want is in Georgia. Agriculture is our number one business, billions and billions. But then in manufacturing, it's aeronautical. And so, and then, we have Delta and we have Coca-Cola that was founded here in Georgia. And then we have Hollywood that makes more movies in Georgia than they do in California. But those things that we have, they want to push their ideals on us. And we live in the Bible Belt.
Right.
We are a red state. They try to say that we're going purple. I don't believe it for a minute. No. We have 159 counties in Georgia. We have the most counties of anybody besides Texas. And so we have a lot of counties. I went to every one of them last year when I ran for Senate, all 159. And you still see Trump flags everywhere. I'm going all over the state campaigning. There's Trump flags everywhere. You don't see Biden signs. People love America. We're very patriotic. We love Jesus, guns, and babies. That's why I say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really do. And I I feel like, it's important that we keep to those ideals. And that's why I'm running for governor. I was going to run for my House seat because my House member votes liberal half the time. But I had a dream about speaking to a group of people, and I was talking about Hollywood. They're not going to come in and tell us that grown men wearing makeup can go in their little girls' bathrooms. And they're not going to tell us not to vote for the heartbeat bill. And China's not going to control our elections, or they're not going to tell us how to vote. And we're going to put morality over money every single time in Georgia. And I woke up thinking about morality over money, and God wouldn't let me go about it. It's so important. Like, we have the 8th strongest economy. That's wonderful. But if you sell your soul out to the devil, does it matter?
I would agree 110% with that. I can't get over what went on with the election down there myself. I don't believe it's over down there with the election being, it was certified, but was it legal? And will it ever be overturned? I thought I heard something about a judge is going to let them recount the absentee ballots or some of the ballots down there. I don't know what's going on. Do you have any idea what's going on with that?
Yeah, so let me talk about this real quick. So Georgia had a county near me, 40 miles away, Coffee County, that did not certify their votes because they rescanned them 5 times and got 5 different numbers, and they refused to recertify. And the Secretary of State said you have to certify, and they refused. He actually sent armed guards down here trying to force them. It was a mess. But he certified the election anyway, and you can't certify without every county. So that's one issue just in itself. Forget everything else. Forget the machines. Forget everything else. And then when you go into all the other issues that we had in Georgia and how we got the consent decree, and we ended up spending $140 million on that system, the D system, I won't say because I don't want you to be shut down.
Yeah.
We got all those things in Georgia. It was awful. And I will talk about the lawsuit in Fulton because I do know about that. I know Garland Favorito. He's my friend. He's an awesome patriot. But let me talk about Arizona first. Arizona, I've been working with for about 6 weeks, trying to push for the same thing they have going on there in Georgia and doing affidavits and notices. I'm working with the guys that push for that in their state. And one of their senators, I had a phone conversation with him last week, Senator Borelli. He's a retired Marine, and he is a fighter. And he talked about, how he got the Senate to do what they're doing out there. As he said, have y'all watched the news? Now, he's in Arizona, and he's saying, have y'all watched the news? Do y'all see what's going on in Georgia? Do you see them rescanning? Do you see all the videos and the pictures and the testimonies of these patriots? Are y'all listening? They're shredding things. If you think we use the same system they did, if you think we're immune to what they're doing there, you're crazy. We have to do this. We have to push forward and do this in Arizona. And he said, here we are finishing up with our whole thing we're doing, and Georgia still isn't doing one. And
Wow.
He said, I don't understand. We did ours because of Georgia, and Georgia's refusing. I said, I guess because people don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to be handcuffed. But in reality, it's the truth. It's the truth that it's embarrassing. So the Fulton County case, what he's going to get, Garland, is a little over 100,000 ballots, but copies of them, not the actual thing. So
Right.
it'll be a scanned image, and they will get to look at it. And so supposedly they can tell if they were computer generated or not, but you don't know for sure. And we need to see if they were folded. We need to really inspect them, and they belong to the people. We should be able to do that. But
Right.
it's like he said, Garland said, it's a little piece of what needs to be done as a whole.
Absolutely. From what I hear is a lot of states went to Arizona to watch what they were doing because a lot of states are fixing to do the forensic thing on theirs. And some of them wasn't even swing states that want to get their stuff inspected to find out what's going on with their stuff too. I think there's so much corruption and it's unreal.
Well,
And
I flew out there, and it was like a crime scene. It was so controlled. It was so just organized and secure, and definitely done so it can be used later in court if it needs to be. And We had senators fly out there and look at it, and they've done nothing since they got back. I did a press conference Thursday, and I told them, you can do a subpoena, you can do a warrant on Fulton County, and you can demand the materials to inspect. You can do that. And so then the DOJ the next day filed a lawsuit on Georgia. And then one of the senators that went out there said, well, when we go to session in January, then we're gonna say then we want to get a subpoena. And I'm like, no. This ain't how this works. The Constitution's the highest law of the land. It's higher than the courts. And the will of the people is to have this done. And we've sent you thousands of notices telling you that. And you swore to the Constitution that you would uphold the will of the people, and you're not doing that. And you're going against your sworn oath of office, which is treason. So
there's a lot of people going to get charged with treason, I think, before it's all over. They certified a vote that was illegitimate as far as I'm concerned. So there's a lot of people up in D.C. Whatever's left in D.C., it looks like a ghost town. I guess as time goes on, we'll learn more about what's going on. We're living in some times now that's uncharted territory, basically, in the country.
Absolutely.
And we're just, it's like Kim Clement said, we set, Trump aside for a season, and he's about to, he'll be back. I'm sure of it. At least I hope and pray he's going to be back, and God's going to show up in our lifetime to change things from what they are back to the way they should be. And I feel like we're going to be able to tell our kids, and they're going to be able to tell their grandkids, that God came in our lifetime and changed things for the good and eliminated the evil. Because there's a lot of evil in society today, the way, and within our government also, but also in society today. It's horrible.
Well, the Bible talks about a second harvest. So I believe that's coming. I think it's going to be the greatest time to be alive. I think it might get really bad before then, but I believe God for that and what his word says. I will tell you that I've had, I don't know, at least 10 states I myself have helped them with notices and affidavits. They're all over the United States. It's beautiful that, I'm thinking about Georgia, and I'm focused on Georgia, but we really are the United States of America, and we're coming together on this issue, and we're pushing back, and we're saying, no, this is not okay. Our right to vote is the most sacred right in our land. And I was speaking last night to a little over 100 people. They were all retirees. And I was telling them, of course, I want the Second Amendment. We have the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment. I hate being censored. I hate right now not being able to use words I want to use. I think it's ridiculous, and it's not fair. It's not right. But that's important to me. The first, our First Amendment right, our Second Amendment right, abortion needs to be eradicated. I want less government. I want less government overreach. I want us to be able to have less taxes and be able to do what we need to do to protect the homeless and the widows without government having to do that and having all these social programs that don't work. But all that to be said, if we don't have our right to vote intact, fair and legal, one vote per registered voter, our whole system crumbles to the ground.
Right.
And we have nothing. So we can't, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter if you believe in abortion or not. All that won't even matter because we don't have a country. And that's what people don't understand. This is the most important thing in our country to talk about, period. It has to be protected. It has to be fixed, whatever's wrong, whatever loopholes, whatever issues. We should have it so tight and secure that when we go vote, we know it counts one time.
Wow. So who are some of the people you're running against?
So, Brian Kemp's the governor, and I'm challenging him because I feel like he wasn't representing me, and the majority of Georgia was real quiet after the election, and people were very, very upset about that. He did some good things for Georgia, opening our state, first state to open up after COVID. He did some wonderful things that way. But whenever the election happened, and here we are still with not having everything examined, people are very upset. They're very frustrated, including me. And I cannot let these establishment politicians keep playing games with our lives. We can't do it anymore. And then Vernon Jones, he was a Democrat. He says he's a Republican now. His voting record obviously is horrible. He voted against the heartbeat bill. He came up and said it didn't go far enough. It didn't, life starts at conception. But yet last fall, I was with him in DeKalb County, and he said I would never tell a woman what to do with her body. So I don't, him saying that one thing and then me hearing him say what he said about conception, I don't deal well with lying. Lying is my pet peeve. Just tell me the truth. If you changed your mind, you changed your mind. But don't pander and tell me, oh, it didn't go far enough. No, tell me, I believed in abortion. I voted against the heartbeat bill. I've had a change of heart. Just tell the truth. If that's the truth. But if it's not the truth, don't lie. Okay. So he's running. He stood up for Trump during all the campaign at the end of from about summer on. And that was wonderful. We're thankful he did that. But he needs to prove himself, and he hasn't proved himself yet. He's been a politician for 30 years and worth millions of dollars as a politician. And we just, I think the Patriots in Georgia, they're not having that. They're just not. They're not. They want real. They want to be represented. They're not playing games. They want you to be serious. They don't want you to tickle their ears and just tell them what they want to hear. They want to hear real.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your opponents here. Let's talk about Vernon Jones, who's running against you, and Kemp. He has a very interesting past with women and his days as CEOs of the Cobb Company. How do you think the people of Georgia feel about him running for governor, knowing his past?
Well, I think that there's some things in DeKalb. He had a lawsuit there for firing white people, and they settled outside of court on that. I read that whole lawsuit that happened, when he was CEO there. And then there have been a lot of indiscretions with women that have been publicized. And I'll just say, I'm not judging him. That's for him to know if it happened or not. But I have fought my whole career for abused children and against sexual abuse, specifically human sex trafficking. And I'm not into objectifying women, and I'm not into multiple accusations whenever, something. My granddaddy always said, when there's smoke, there's fire. So, when it's multiple, it makes you a little bit leery. And I think that, sometimes men get accused inaccurately too. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I just think that, he's not married. And I think that, the governor of Georgia, we're a very conservative state. It's probably going to be somebody who has a family and that represents the majority of households in Georgia.
What makes you different than Kemp and Vernon Jones?
Well, I'm like you. I'm normal. I'm not an establishment politician. So they've been politicians for decades. I really feel like our founding fathers intended on us to go serve and come home. And that's why they didn't put term limits on the House and the Senate. They couldn't hardly get anybody to serve. People wouldn't leave their farms. They would lose their farms if they came and served. And now it's flipped, and you can't get them to leave. And when they start telling me, oh, it's so hard, I'm like, don't lie to me. It's easy. We can't kick y'all out. Y'all love it. You love the money and power. So it must not be difficult. And not taken away from them, because I think, there probably are some very difficult, dangerous aspects of that service. But it looks like a job and not a service. They're supposed to be public servants and trustees of the people. And I don't feel like the majority of them are. Now, my good friend Marjorie Taylor Greene, that just got elected, this past January, she is a public servant and she is a trustee of the people. And her district trusts her with her whole heart. And she's done exactly what she said she was going to do. And she's a rare gem. But there's not many like Marjorie.
Wow. So, I'm trying to think, do you know anything more that you can tell us about? You say that you went out to Arizona. Can you tell us more about, is there anything coming up for them? Are they going to recount all these ballots down there? I read that a judge said that they were going to recount them. Is that going to happen, or is that just talk?
So what I know about Arizona, I have several good friends out there, but I started with Josh Barnett. Josh is running for U.S. House in Arizona, and then Dave Jose. He's like a constitutional genius, and he's helped a lot of people with affidavits and notices in Arizona, but across the whole United States of America. And they have talked to me about canvassing. So the next part of this, when they finish everything they're doing, which they have finished, they're moving to going door to door and verifying signatures with ballots. So that's kind of where they are right now, and that can take months. I think they're going to do a preliminary report in August, but I think they have to do sign and die, and their election law can't go into effect until they do sign and die after so many days. And so they kind of have to move forward to do that to protect their elections they're going to have, because without that, they won't be able to have their new, they did everything they did so they could see where the issues were and the holes and the gaps to make it secure. And I respect them for that. In Georgia, they did the Senate Bill 202 they're getting so much flack for, and that bill did nothing. It didn't get rid of the system. It didn't get rid of the machines. It didn't get rid of no excuse absentees. It didn't get rid of drop boxes. It didn't help with the chain of custody. So in Georgia, I'm frustrated, and I respect Arizona for doing what they did and then seeing the holes and the gaps and writing legislation to fix those.
So do you feel that they'll overturn the election in Georgia? What's the next procedure that can go through there, or is it a done deal?
Well, there's something going on in one of the other counties that hasn't been announced yet that's going to be announced soon, like maybe in the week. And it was with some of the data they've gone and done open record requests and looked at a lot of the data and analyzed it, and they found some major gaps in another county that's not Fulton. And we know Fulton had a bunch of issues. Fulton and Chatham, which is Savannah and Atlanta, they're the only two counties out of 159 that have a different way of appointing their board of electors, and they have the most issues in the whole state. And so in my affidavit, I demanded really, that those two would be audited first because they had the most issues. But there's another county outside of those two that, like I said, they've gone through with the data and they found some major issues. If we can get that done and get everything examined, there's no doubt that they would see the fraud. There's no doubt, because we watched the videos. I was in the Senate hearings the last day, and I watched the videos, heard the testimony, heard Javon Pulitzer up there talking, and there were 5 subcommittee members of the Senate, and all 5 senators, Republicans and Democrat, it was bipartisan, they agreed unanimously for a full audit of Fulton County, and the courts pushed it back and wouldn't let them do it. But in reality, the Constitution is higher than the court, so I don't know why they didn't just do it and why they went to the court. They've got taken really bad advice. The General Assembly and who we elect is higher than a court. It is the highest law in our state. So it's like they don't know their power. I don't know. I mean, and I've told them, I've sent them affidavits, we've sent thousands of notices, and they're not listening.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm having a connection problem where you're kind of like fading in and out. Here, Bonafide just showed up. Let's add him to the stream. Bonafide, what's going on, brother?
Doug?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Who's that pretty lady with you?
She is running for governor of Georgia.
No.
Yes, she is.
I'll vote for her. That's for sure.
You better. I won't come to Tennessee and get you.
Well, you got to wait till Sunday while I get to Tennessee. I live right above you in South Carolina.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, Brad lives in Tennessee. I live in South Carolina.
Oh, y'all split up.
We're going to be in Tennessee on Saturday and Sunday.
And I'm going to be in South Carolina next weekend.
Yeah. But this weekend, ain't you coming to church?
I'm going to try my best to get there to church Sunday.
Are you still there?
Yeah, hold on 1 minute. Brad. Yeah. We on the Frog News Network.
Hey, Brad.
Kandiss is on here too. You want to tell her hey? Brad's up in the mountains and he ain't got no good reception. But
Hey,
that's not
Brad,
on.
I'm glad you
Hey,
answered
Brad.
the phone.
Hey, Kandiss.
Tell him
Hey,
I'm glad he answered his phone.
she's gonna be at church with us on Sunday.
Okay.
Hey,
Kandiss, yes.
yep.
All right, listen to me.
All right.
Talk to you for just a second. Listen.
Hey, y'all. Hey, put me in the back room for a minute, Doug.
Okay. I just threw him out of the room.
Kick him out.
Yeah. He's trying to get that straight with him. But man, I look for big things to happen down in your neck of the woods next. After Arizona, I believe things are headed down your way.
I hope
I think
so.
things are going to get stirred up down there like a bunch of hornets here shortly.
I sure hope so. I hope you're right.
Things got to change. Our country is right on the brink. You know what I mean? It's between the Texas border and what's going on. Everything else. Everybody's really on edge. It's a time that we've never seen in this country before, and it's a time for us to grab them Bibles and hold on to them tight and trust God right now, because I believe we're living through biblical times right now. We really are, and I believe God is going to get us through it all. But there's some different things happening like we've never seen before. You follow what I'm saying? It's just we've never seen stuff like this before happen in our country. Maybe it's never been exposed before in our country until now.
I think that's been happening for a while. I think, in Georgia, they said about 2002, we started having some digital pieces to the election, and probably there was room for error there that's been happening since then. I think that people just got much braver. And you know how when you do sin, you go a little bit, and there's a saying like sin will take you further than you ever wanted to go, or farther than you ever wanted to go. And I think that's what happened. They maybe did a little bit and a little bit, and then they got really brazen and just went all out and got themselves in a mess.
Absolutely, I believe that's the case too. So, I'm looking for something. Hopefully, President Trump has another rally here on the 3rd in Sarasota, Florida. And then I do recall him at the speech the other night saying something about we're going to see about getting fireworks up in South Dakota. So I'm wondering if he's going to show up there on the 4th of July. It makes you wonder, will he show up there? I think there's some big things that we keep thinking are going to happen, but nothing's happening. But we just hope and pray things are going to change. And that's all we can do for now is know that the Lord is in control, and things will get better. They got to get better.
And push our legislators, really put pressure. After the election, they were bombarded and they got really upset, and they were about to break. I mean, they were wanting to file their own lawsuits, and they were very upset. I can't take all these calls. I can't fill all this out. They've never been contacted in that magnitude before, and we got discouraged when we saw the inauguration, and we got real discouraged and down and kind of defeated. And then when we saw Arizona get a full examination of their stuff, it's like, oh, well, there's hope. If they can get it, we can get it. And so, people are getting fired up again, and they're wanting to fight back, and they're wanting to have their voice heard. And I think that it's so important that we make an organized effort in every state to put pressure on our legislators with emails and phone calls and mailing letters, and just constantly demanding what the will of the people is, which is a total examination of everything to ensure that we have fair legal elections.
Absolutely. What you say, Bonafide?
That's exactly right. That's what they was talking about. I went to a meeting tonight called Rhino Hunt. And here in the upstate of South Carolina, there was probably close to 200 people there. So people are waking up and seeing exactly what to do. And they are showing up at these town hall meetings and asking uncomfortable questions to these rhinos, to the point, well, I don't know if y'all seen where the Helen Lee, she done a video where she was at the town hall meeting in Beaufort, South Carolina. And basically they adjourned the meeting before Liam Wood could ask any more questions.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
That's what's got to happen. I mean, basically, if you can't ask a question, that's a dead sign of a rhino. you know, that's one thing people call in a Democratic plant. He will sit there, and me and Kandiss both have seen him. He'll sit there till 2:00 in the morning answering every single question everybody has, period. And then he's going to tell them about Jesus. But anyway, that's it. This deal about being transparent, if you're going to be transparent, you're going to be pushed to the top, and you're going to be able to see these people falling to the sides and seeing that they're covering up something. I don't know exactly what they're covering up. I think they're covering up their income, to be honest with you.
You know what the litmus test is? The litmus test is this. You want to run for office, and you don't say number one thing you want is a full examination, I won't say the A word, of the state. That's one. And number two is you don't only say you want it, you're doing something to get it.
You're exactly right.
And if you're not doing something to get it, actively pursuing it, then we don't want you in office and we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they got that down right quick in Beaufort County.
I don't want to hear, the two senators that flew out from Georgia to Arizona. I want it. I talked to one of them yesterday on the golf as a Heisman golf tournament, and I walked over there and I said, "Okay, when we get in the audit, well, I want it. I got to talk to the lawyer." I said, "Wait just a minute. Do not talk to a lawyer again about the Constitution when they don't understand it. He didn't sign. He did not swear to uphold the Constitution. You did.
Yep.
So you don't go through him to protect the Constitution. That's your job.
That's
we wielded our power to you. The only power you have is the power we gave you, and we gave you the power to do the will of the people. Quit talking to the lawyers."
That's right.
Kandiss, I got your website running across the bottom right here. Is all your social media on there too? So they can get in touch with you. Yes. And also, is there a link that they can donate for your campaign as well?
Absolutely. $1, whatever you can afford. I don't want you to go in debt for it. So everybody can give $1. That would be wonderful. But I want to say, if you'll go to my website, there's a tab called Save Georgia. And if you're from Georgia, there's notices there to send your legislators. It goes step by step what to do. It has their email addresses. It tells you exactly what to do to get involved and start pushing for examination. That's what I'm going to call it, not the A word.
Right. Yep. That's pretty bad. We got talking code.
I know. Our First Amendment right. We don't have it.
I can tell you right now we're being shadow banned because I'm getting a lot of freezing on all three of our cameras. The Facebook, YouTube's messing with us. They really are. I know they are.
Yeah, because you were saying a while ago I was going in and out, and I haven't gone out at all on my end.
Yeah, like on mine, you're Kandiss, you're freezing and a little bit on Bonafide, but they're messing with it. They don't like us spreading the truth, is what it is.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely.
Another thing I want to let everybody know that I guess we sealed up yesterday is Kandiss will be with us July the 10th in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Well, great. I'll be there.
And we will all be at Greg Locke's Global Vision Church on the 4th of July. He's having a fireworks show there. That'll be in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Brad will be there. I can't remember everybody else. Brad, we may have some more special guests there. I'm sure he's got a list of people that's going to be there. But you know me, I don't know nobody's name. Doug, what's your name? Oh, yeah. Doug's name's Frogman.
The Frogman.
That's right. But I want to let everybody know that we are doing that deal still on the 10th of July. Brad is right now up there checking on the stuff in Kentucky. And he went from there to Doug Billings' deal is going on this weekend in, what's the name of that town? Missouri. Billings? No.
Billings, yeah.
Yes.
Is that it?
I think it is.
No, his name is Doug Billings.
Oh.
It starts with
I saw
B.
Billings in Missouri on Sunday.
Close enough.
It was anyway. Y'all go look it up. Don't tell me to give it to you.
Anyways, on the bottom of the screen, if you go to that website, libertyevents.org, you can purchase tickets to the Spartanburg, South Carolina event.
Here's what I'm going to do,
Tickets are still available.
Here's what I'm going to do. I still got all your shirts in the back of my van.
Yes, sir.
So let's just say how many you want to give away.
Money, do what you want.
We'll give them all away then.
No, wait a minute now.
I tell you what, we'll do the first 50. The first 50.
That sounds good.
All right, the first 50 people. When you buy a ticket, you just put in the word frog as your middle name. Frog as your middle name, because I ain't got time to go work on a promo code. But if you got the word frog in your name, we're gonna give you a t-shirt.
See me at my table, and I give you a t-shirt.
Give you a t-shirt. Y'all seen the t-shirts? He's got them on the online, but yeah, that's pretty much all. I'm out of stuff to say now.
We have so much fun. Listen,
I know.
Lynn Wood's coming.
That's
it's
right.
gonna be awesome. He will, and I don't know if y'all have ever met Lynn Wood, but I met him. He endorsed me for governor. He is the sweetest man. God gave him to me because my daddy passed away 3 years ago.
Aww.
And then I get Lynn Wood gifted to me. And he talks about Jesus. He'll call me. We'll talk for an hour about the Lord. He's amazing.
Yep.
But
wow.
y'all, seriously,
yep.
Looks like a celebrity. I'm not kidding. Like, when he comes in, he has this presence about him that's like, you're famous. And he's just humble and kind. And y'all have to go meet him. You're going to love him.
And he'll sit there and talk to you for hours. It ain't like we special.
Right.
He'll sit there and talk to anybody about any subject until he has to sit down for a while. I'm dead serious. I've seen him do it. And
yeah, we had to go get him Chick-fil-A. We were in Dalton, Georgia, having our thing. We went and got some Chick-fil-A, and then he was ready to go again.
Yep. Another thing is y'all been probably missing Brad for the last few days because he's been up in the mountains. He said he's gonna find some signal somewhere and talk for a little while tonight on his Facebook page.
Okay.
He's been at a church camp with his kids since Monday, I think, and then on the 1st he'll be at that Doug Billings in someplace called B in Missouri. I can't remember the name. Y'all talk a minute. I'll find the name of it.
Okay, let me for Liberty Water, I'm going to put this up right now, and he wants me to ask a question about the Constitution, and if you get one of the two people right, you get a free 6-pack of the sports bottles of water. All you got to do, and future presidents were not on the Constitutional Convention in 1787 and did not sign the Constitution, but became president. If you can answer.
You can't Google it.
Oh, you can't Google it. You got to pull your little book out. You got what your case of water.
Hey, I'm gonna call Brian.
Hey, go to the Constitution and read it.
Yes,
there were two presidents. If somebody gets that right, I will send your name over to the waterman, and you will get a free case of water. I'll leave that up there for a second.
Type it in right.
Yeah, I know they're shadow banning us. I'm sorry. That's why we're buffering.
Branson, Missouri.
Branson, Missouri.
Yep, July the 1st through the 4th.
Was not George Washington.
Type in the answer right now.
Let me go make sure I got the answer correct because he just sent it to me.
That's cheating, Doug.
Well, I know.
Hey, do I need to go on here and look at the people putting the comments on? So
no, you don't want to look at them. They're only asking one thing.
Yep. Somebody told me Branson, Missouri. Thank you.
He knew the answer.
Andrew Jackson.
Hold on. I just lost the whole page. No, it's
Grant and Harris.
John and Thomas.
Grant and Harris.
Nope. Nobody guessed it yet.
I don't like that last name Harris.
Thomas
Yep. Who's whispering, man?
It's me. I wrote the whole bill.
Adams and Adams.
Anybody get it yet? Yep, we got a winner. Jamie Sutton.
Who is
Jamie
that?
Sutton. Let me
Who
write
was
your name.
it?
John Adams or Thomas Jefferson.
I knew it was Thomas Jefferson.
Is there any way you can message me? Oh, it's gonna go away. Where did you go? What was his name?
You know who
go
you
back
was.
and watch the video.
I'll go back and watch the video and I'll get your name.
The 50-minute mark.
At the 50-minute mark. 50-minute mark. And I'll get your information and email from you. If you can send me a message, if you're on a Telegram group, say I'm the guy that got the question right for the water, and we'll get you a case of water out to you.
How many people's going to do that? I got the question right.
They do that with the T-shirts. I gave one away, and 10 people say they want it. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. If there's anything you want to say in closing, Kandiss?
I'll just say that if you know anybody in Georgia, you tell them about me. Obviously the news will not cover me because I want to get Georgia examined, and I'm not establishment like the other two running against me. But my name is Kandiss Taylor, and I'm the one you've been waiting for.
That's exactly right. I've been waiting for you. I'm thinking about moving to Georgia.
I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. I know that YouTube was messing with our channel tonight. Messing with the channel tonight, so hopefully it comes out all right in the video and it'll get plenty of views. But I know for a fact they were messing with the channel tonight, just because I don't usually have this problem. But
because I'm here, that's why.
I think it's Bonafide.
Yeah, y'all had problems before I got on.
It on me before Bonafide got here.
That's right. Hey, listen, make sure y'all remember, if you're gonna be a patriot, you must participate. So get out and do something. Get out from behind this camera or phone or whatever you're watching this on, and get to a community center or get to a
city council meeting or a school board meeting
and voice your opinion. They cannot stand it. They cannot stand to be asked questions that they do not want to answer. And the proof, it's just like to deal with the mama bears. The mama bears, these two ladies, these two mamas changed the law in Iowa.
They sure did. They'll be on the show Thursday night.
Yep. And
they'll be on my show Thursday night.
That's just proof that the only thing you got to do is get up there and mention it. The silent party has got to be not silent any longer. I mean, I see all these people, just these meetings with 200 or 300 people, and then they go out and they make plans. See, they try to keep it away from us when they have these town hall meetings. They don't want the patriots to know about it.
Right.
So you got to find out about it, and you got to go join their Rhino little clubs on Facebook. So when you find out that you can go there, then you get a group of 50 and show up there. And that's when things get changed. When you start asking questions and they have to, adjourn the meeting, basically, if they adjourn the meeting, they're Rhino because they're not going to answer any questions.
Absolutely.
You
got to get involved. We got to get involved, guys.
That's how in Georgia we have all of our GOP chairs. A majority of them across the state were flipped over in every county because patriots started going to the meetings they've never gone before. Yep. They started going to the meetings and they were like, "No, I'm taking this over because y'all don't know what you're doing, and you keep electing the wrong people."
So, are you getting patriots in office now down there?
We're getting in the chair positions in the GOP.
Yeah.
Like last year, all the chairs that I met and running for Senate, they're all gone except like a couple. It's crazy.
Really?
It's wonderful. I'm glad. I'm glad the people are stepping up.
Yeah. In all reality, a Rhino is worse than a Democrat. It's
yes. I said that while ago.
Yep. And we got plenty of them out here, I promise you.
I promise you we do.
The Democrats will tell you, I'm taking your money. I'm going to kill your babies. You're not going to have your guns. And you're not going to do a thing about it because if you say something, I'm going to censor you. And the Republicans tell you, I'm going to do all the things you want me to do. But really, they do what the Democrats said they were going to do.
Yep. It is ridiculous. And we keep electing them in.
Definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Well, we tried to vote some of them out, but when it's not a fair vote, there's not a whole lot you can do, is it? Hopefully they get that part fixed, Without that, there'll be never another fair election in this country, ever.
Without that, we become Venezuela.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's going that way. One more thing about the deal with the border. I don't know if y'all
go ahead. Go ahead.
The mayor of the little town I was in, his name is Brad Cole. And basically he told me, he said, look, we're being invaded by people from Venezuela it's not Mexicans that are coming over. It's all these other countries. I seen Africa. The little shift that I was there was 77 people come across the border, and all of them was from like South America and all these other places. Well, there's what's it called, Doug? 42 that Biden's trying to pass or overturn.
I think it is it's a bill that he's trying to step over and take away, and then you think it's bad now. It'll get crazy down there if that goes through.
It'll basically be like a train station there 24/7. But if that happens, then all these people automatically get green cards and are then eligible to become voters. And see, they know that we know about the voter, let's just say, what went wrong. So we're not going to fall for it again. So therefore, they're bringing all these people in that's obviously going to vote their way because they let them come across the border. And he said, and he made a lot of sense, just like Kandiss said a while ago, the only place that's got more counties in Georgia is Texas. Now, if Texas turns blue, we will never see another Republican president ever. Texas is the motor that runs the red boat. Period.
Absolutely.
And if it turns, it's over with. And the way they are shipping people in there now, they're shipping them everywhere. We seen the pictures of the and I did find out one thing from the sheriff today. He said that ICE is the one putting them ankle bracelets on everybody and then shipping all over the United States.
Well, what about that baby? The baby that was mutilated and dead. It is inhumane. It is not okay.
And that happened right after the day I left. And I seen a bunch of clothes and I seen, little kids and stuff like that. I didn't see anything mutilated. But basically where I was at was the decoy location. All right. What I was at is they just basically helped them out of the water. They went up there and got in a bus and got transported. And within 2 days, they're at the airport going to wherever they want to go. And basically they just say, hey, we got family in Dallas. And they'll ship them to Dallas. No questions asked. But the deal with the kids being left in the desert, there's a lot of the deal with the mutilation is they are organ
harvesting.
From what I understand, I don't know all about that, but obviously something's happened to these kids. And this is not the first one. They've been many of them. I don't know how you harvest an organ out in the middle of nowhere, but obviously something's happening. So, but the deal with the kids and the ones that's in my video, what they do is they make fake families. You have a harder time getting across the border if you're single or if you're just a couple. So what they do is the cartel will provide you with a fake family. And you'll come across the river, and then before you get go through processing, what they do is they'll run and leave them kids there in custody of the Border Patrol. And what's crazy about it is I heard a story from an officer that he said that this little girl asked to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom wasn't down the hall; it was way on down the building, and I said, yeah, you can go to the bathroom. So the little girl went to the bathroom, and the officer said, how did you get there? How did you know where to go to the bathroom? And she said, well, I done been here 5 times before. This is my 6th time. So that means that the Border Patrol is letting these children go back to the cartel and recycling them and doing it again. And if you look at my videos, I sent them to y'all. They just leave these kids on the side of the road.
Yeah, I seen a big pile of dirt, and they left the baby without a diaper. I'm gonna bring my friend Ken Walls in. He's one of my mentors, and bring him in and bring him on the stream. Come on in, Ken. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey,
how y'all doing?
Hi, Ken.
Yeah,
hey,
this
Dr.
is my
Taylor,
mentor doing live streams. But he's a real good guy. He wanted to come on and jump on and talk to you guys. Bonafide knows him. This is Kandiss Taylor. She's running for governor of Georgia.
Dr. Taylor, it's nice to
I'm
meet
gonna
you.
go buy me 1/4 acre in Georgia and get me a mailbox on it.
I know he said Georgia, and it's like Georgia.
That's right, Georgia.
Hey, Ken, it's nice to meet you too. And I think you should buy some land in Georgia. I think that we should take our money out of the stock market and buy land.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Amen.
First, I got to find my money that's in the stock market.
That's what I'm saying. I just said our money, and I probably have like no money in the stock market. My husband probably has this much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to talk about.
Hey, Bonafide, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Good. Hey, Dr. Taylor, I want to come on meet you. I'd like to, Doug, you don't mind me asking, do you? I'd like to have her on my show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're not competing. We're not competing. I just had Judge Ken Starr on recently, and he's a friend of mine. I'm sure you know who he is. So, yeah, I'd love to have you on.
Listen, we're not competing. We're in this together.
Yes,
That's right.
We have to be unified, and we're patriots, and we help each other. That's how this works. And so I'm seeing sort of obviously I came on here tonight, and poor Doug, his show keeps having issues because of me. So I'd love to come on your show. And I've been saying examination, not the A word.
Yep. They don't care. They done got hip to our code words.
Yeah, they're definitely shadow banning our show tonight. I've never had this much freezing at all, ever. It's really crazy right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
So, Ken, you got something you want to ask me?
Would you like to be on my show?
You
I'll
ready
do
to answer
that.
that?
I can't get married, okay?
Yeah,
I will do that.
I'm married. No, I would love to have you on my show. I've been around for about 3 years. I've done a lot in politics for the GOP, so all over the nation at
Bless
the
you.
highest level.
Bless you.
So, yeah, and that's all I can say about that.
Hey, I got a request.
What?
Y'all ready?
Mhm.
This right here is my little grandbaby. I've never seen him before because of COVID.
Aw.
Oh.
Hold on a minute. I got to get it back. Play again. And he was born in Houston, and then they shipped him to Charleston. And obviously they won't let you in there because of the deal with COVID. But he was a twin, and his brother didn't make it. And his name is Carter, and I need everybody to pray for him.
Absolutely.
One more surgery, and he gets to come home. He was born around it was in February when that ice storm hit Houston, and he was actually there. His mama was there. They rushed her to the hospital in Houston because one of the babies was bigger than the other one, and he weighed barely over a pound, but now he's up to about 7 pounds.
Oh.
And I'm hoping we get to see him here in the next less than a month or so. But that's my first grandbaby. Well, he's the second one. The first kid, and his name's Carter. So I want everybody to pray for Carter.
You got it.
Speedy recovery. He has to have some kind of surgery because of the fluid on his brain, and this is the last one, and then he gets to come home.
Well, I'll certainly be saying praying for him tonight, man.
Yeah,
and we wish him the best. And if Dr. Kandiss Taylor says so, I'll give you her information, and you can get in touch with her. Is that all right with you, ma'am?
Yes, that's okay.
And
let's just pray real quick. Can we pray on your show?
Yeah, you can. Yes, ma'am.
Do it. Yes.
Okay. So Jesus, I just ask right now, all of us together, you say when 2 or more of us are gathered, you're with us, and there's a pile of us on here. So Lord, I just thank you for healing Carter's body, that it's so supernatural. The doctors say it's a miracle. And he just totally healed, whole, your precious baby you created in your image. You knew him before you even needed him in his mother's womb. And I thank you for complete, total healing, and that Bonafide gets to spoil him rotten. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
He knows that. I already bought him a couple
Beautiful.
of cars.
Dr. Taylor, what part of Georgia are you in?
Southeast Georgia. So
South.
I'm an hour and a half from Savannah,
Okay.
and 2 hours from Jacksonville, Florida.
Love
Okay.
that. It's a nice area. I got a lot of friends down in South Georgia.
This is a bunch of pine trees.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got onions in my county over. They have Vidalia onions, sweet onions.
Are you in Vidalia County?
Well, it's Toombs County. It's Vidalia, Georgia.
Ah, I got you.
Well, y'all say Vidalia. I say Vidalia.
Yeah, you don't know how to say it.
I don't say that either.
Hey, I got one question for you. This is a very important question.
I'm
This
ready.
is going to depend if anybody in Georgia votes for you or not.
Okay.
What kind of mayonnaise you use?
Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer this right because, okay, first of all, I buy Duke mayonnaise for my husband, but I don't like mayonnaise.
Well, at least you buy it for him. You answered it right. You're going to be the next governor now.
You got the right
Hey,
man.
if you take Miracle Whip.
Oh,
Hey, this is the God's honest truth. Back when I was single, and I would go see women at their houses, I'd open up the refrigerator and look and see what kind of mayonnaise it was. If it wasn't Duke's, I'd leave right then.
you're wrong.
My wife bought some. My wife bought some. It's been a year or so ago. She bought some because it went with a recipe. You know, it was Miracle Whip or something like that. And I got it out of the bag and threw it directly in the trash can. I said, "Don't you ever bring that in here again." She never did again.
You said it's a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Your husband is
Wow.
a man.
I bet you would, Bonafide. I bet you eat a banana sandwich, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
I just knew it.
Oh yeah. With
Nice.
mayonnaise.
With mayonnaise.
Yeah, with mayonnaise.
That's right.
Non-negotiable, Duke.
That's right. I'm waiting on them to send me a check.
Waiting for it to say you to check.
Y'all gonna see
Hey,
a
you
picture
can
of
be
me
a
standing in the grocery
spokesperson.
store holding a Duke's mayonnaise.
Yes. Yellow. Yellow.
You know,
Hey,
label.
listen, guys. Dr. Kandiss Taylor's website is down below, running across. You can find all her social media stuff on there. And if you'd like to donate to her campaign, you also can do it there as well. Don't forget to go by, and it's simple. Just KandissTaylor.com. Go by there and support her for governor of Georgia. Come on.
that's
We
right.
need a new governor in Georgia. It's time.
Yeah, get that rhino out of there.
That's right.
Amen. And then
All
come
right.
to Ohio and do the same thing up here.
We'll just do it state by state by state and take our country back. Y'all,
Yes.
what about that?
You can do it.
Let's do it.
I'm telling you, they've been some crazy things happen. You know,
Crazier things has happened
only
than me
thing,
becoming governor.
all these people are coming together. It's incredible. Well, we was all asleep. We all felt like we couldn't do anything. We all felt like, but I'm
But we're
telling you,
awake, Tim. We're awake. The left's woke because I don't know how
Yep.
to use correct grammar.
that's
But
right.
we're awake.
And waking
Amen.
more. It's gonna take a pack of rednecks to change this country. You wait and see.
Gonna take
I know
a pack
some.
of rednecks.
I know 'em.
A
With
pack
the
of red.
Duke mayonnaise, they gonna fix it all.
Well, on a banana sandwich.
That's right. What did you
And
say?
tomato.
Instead of a state dinner, it'll be a banana sandwich.
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 That's right.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, when we come down there to see you, Kandiss, you better have me some nanner sandwiches down there ready.
Hey, I have tomatoes. Like my parents have all these tomatoes. They grow them in hay, and it makes them real acidic. You will have ulcers in your mouth and things that's so acidic. They are wonderful.
They don't put pee on them, do they?
No.
There's a guy here in town. He pees on his tomato plants.
Well,
What?
hey, I
Yeah,
have
he
read
does.
that
And
before.
he grows them in hay, like she said.
Yeah, I've read that before about peeing on vegetation.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Why?
I don't know, something about the acid or something. It's like Miracle Grow. It's the same thing in Miracle Grow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's for real. It's a real
And you're
thing.
saying that with a straight face.
It's a real thing.
And
You'll
also,
be a good governor.
I did. I read an article about it.
yeah, she's gonna be a good governor.
She said that with a straight face. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
I seen that.
Not kidding, she did.
That's how you got to do when you're a politician.
That's
I
right.
will never lie to y'all. Listen, I will not lie. Now,
I
y'all
love
may not
that.
agree with me. That's okay. But I'm not gonna lie to people. Lying is my pet. Let me tell you what my pet peeve is. Lying and being condescending. I cannot stand for somebody to talk down to me. I hate it.
Right.
You know, I've said I'm real good friends with a guy, pretty famous guy named Glenn Morshower. He's been an actor for 46 years, and he says he said he's also a professional speaker, and he goes out on stage and he says, you know, I reviewed the tape from when I was here last year and spoke to you all, and I realized that I may have come off a little bit condescending to you. And what that means is when you talk down to somebody.
Yeah.
Really?
So he was doing,
He just did it again.
let me do it again.
No, he did. It's a joke. He does that.
Yeah. Of course it was. So guys,
Oh.
let's wrap this up because everybody's kind of freezing, and I definitely appreciate Dr. Kandiss Taylor for coming on.
I appreciate you for having
really
me,
appreciate
Doug.
Bonafide. Appreciate you coming on. Ken, I appreciate you jumping on with us.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
we've been struggling with the signal here all night. The internet's been a little wonky, is what I call it. And well, hopefully the video part turns out well. I'll download it from StreamYard, and hopefully it won't be all like it, because we did have some freezing during the show. That's not normal with the show. I don't know what the problem is, but anyways, I want to personally thank each and every one of y'all for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. And Bonafide, you get in touch with Ken so he have the information so she can come on his show.
Yep. Kandiss done offered me big money for my phone and all my connections.
I have. I don't have any big money, but I offered it to him when I get it.
All right, guys. I want to.
I'm gonna have some pool in Georgia one day.
One day, Bonafide, one day.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good
See y'all.
evening. Thank you so much.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.